I speak unto thee this day, and I say that it is true, it is true, it is true, even though it is hideously ugly before me. I say it is true that you are living in a land and nation where men and women have bowed down. I say they have literally kissed the feet of the idol of death. That is, they have offered themselves in oblation, they have offered their children, and I say that they love it so. And I say it is because they stopped fearing me, they stopped walking uprightly in me, and I say they turned aside from the way of life unto the way of death. Now consider the multitudes who have put forth the imagery of death, and I say they have celebrated the same. That is, in their smartness, they acted as foolish punks, declaring the magnificence of death. And I say all the while they have been consumed, they have been taken over by the idol of death. And I say they have brought the land into death and the covering of the same. I say this day that idol-living God never ever intended for men to worship death, to think that death is some great and beautiful thing. That is, I never intended for men to turn from the way of the living unto the way of the dead. I never intended for men to be consumed, to be enthralled with the concept of their impending death. For I say all that is demons who have taken them over and are leading them in the course of their own destruction. I say this day that idol-living God have intended that my own people would be thankful for the life, the light, the strength that I provide. That is, ever coming forth renewed by me, ever thankful to be pursuing the course of life that I've set before them. For I say it is me, the living God, who is the way of life, the way of truth, and the way of mercy provided. And I say if you will be accepting of my way, you will be brought forth in the abundance of life that I provide. For I say it is me, the living God, who is ever present to give unto thee the truth, the light, the strength of who I am. And it is me, the living God, who is ever present to give unto thee all that you have need of to be ever kept in me. For I say it is me, the living God, who is righteousness, truth, blessedness, strength, and mercy intended. And it is me, the living God, who will give unto thee the way that is my truth, my light, and my strength always. For I say if you will indeed keep yourselves upon the way of life, you will be partaking daily of the life that I provide. But I say if you turn aside from me, there is nothing that anyone can do except bow down to the very idol of death. For I say you are living in a time when the idol has loomed up in proud array and is literally ruling in the land. For I say the agenda is death and more death and more death on every hand. I say if you look at the babies that are murdered day by day in the name of abortion, I say it is nothing but the rulership and the consumption of the demon of death. That is, it is death taking the lives that have not even had the chance to come forth and loving it so. And I say it is at the hands of their own parents that they are offered into such a way. That is, the helpless ones are given over to the demon of death and they consume the same. I say likewise consider their agenda of perversion. Where does it all end except in premature death? That is, when they go throughout the land commanding and demanding that all will worship them in their filthiness, in their abominable practices, where do they end? I say they end in the throes of death, miserable death, and I say it is of their own doing. And I say it is because they have bowed down to the idol and worshiped the same. And I say so it is in the agenda of murder that is sent through the armed forces throughout the world. I say still it is the demon of death. For I say there are multitudes who are murdered for useless causes that are no causes at all. And I say there are endless monies funneled into the same, and it is all for naught. For I say it is nothing but more offering unto the demon of death.
I've got the reach and the teeth of a killing machine, with a need to bleed you when the light goes green. Best believe I'm in the zone to be, from a yin to my yang to Z. Put a grin on my chin when you come to me, cause I'll win, I'm a one of a kind, and I'll bring death to the place you're about to be. Another river of blood running under my feet. Forging the fire.
I say this day that idol-living God do not call thee to be under the spell of the demon of death, But I say that I call thee to rebuke, refute, and refuse the same. For I say that the wages of sin is death, and I say that the demon of death is ever waiting for all who give way to sin. For I say, when a man will yield his members to sin and partake of the same, of course death is awaiting him. And I say that he's playing right into the hand of the demon of destruction that is waiting to take him away. I say this day there is nothing beautiful or glamorous or wonderful about death if a man is not right with me. For I say that all that is awaiting such a man is the torment of hell forever. And I say, when a man is fool enough to believe in the lies of death, to worship death and bow down to the same, I say such a man will pay for the same.
The 12th of July 2007. Somewhere over a southeastern neighborhood of Iraq's capital, Baghdad, this US Army Apache helicopter was on a routine patrol searching for Iraqi hostiles. Two Reuters employees, 22-year-old photographer Namir Noor Eldin and a 40-year-old driver Saeed Shmag were out in search of a story when the crew of the Apache helicopter came across them. The sight of this group of men and Namir's camera was enough for the trigger-happy crew to open fire indiscriminately, killing them all.
You're clear.
For I say, throughout his eternity of torment, I say that he will see what a fool he has been. I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to even imitate or emulate the fools who have given themselves to death. For I say, such ones think they are having fun, they do their little shows, they put on their little displays with their symbolism of death, and oh, how clever they think they are. But the truth of it is, they are dumb, ignorant fools who are blinded by the God of this world.
Feel no fear, know my pride. For God and country I'll end your life.
And I say they are headed down the road of their own destruction, their own damnation, and all the while they think they've discovered some great thing. All they have discovered is the way wherein they will be damned and likewise destroyed. I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to the damnation, to the destruction, to the death that is awaiting all who yield to sin.
You know how I feel.
For I say that the wages of sin is death, that is never changed, it always will be. And I say, when men are foolish enough to wholeheartedly embrace the way of sin, they are literally embracing death. And I say they are bowing at the feet of the idol and kissing the same. I say this day that it is senseless, it is useless to continue in the way of death, the way of sin, and the way of destruction. For I say it is me, the living God, who desires that men would be partaking of the life, the light, the strength of who I am. That is, that they could be uplifted, brought forth, guided, and directed by me as their maker, their keeper, not caving into the agenda of death that is looming with prominence throughout the land. I say, when men are in rebellion, when they are in pride, what is it that you think they do? I say they regard me with contempt. They think that I am some old fool, or even they think I do not exist at all. But I say that the tables will turn and they will be the ones who are exposed as the fools. And I say, when they are taken in the throes of death, there will be none to deliver them. And I say that the agony of the damned that they shall undergo forever will prove who it is that is the fool. I say you are living in a proud and wayward generation, when men are so full of themselves and what they think they can do that they have no fear of me. But I say it is me, the living God, who is preparing the cup of my wrath, my fury, my indignation, and filling it to the full. And I say, when my cup is fully poured out, I say there will be no end to the same. That is, in the sense that men will scream and howl and moan under the agony, the torment that they will experience in this life. For I say it is me, the living God, who will punish and punish and punish and punish and vindicate myself. And I say, though they howl and moan and scream and cry out for death, I say in those times that death shall elude them, evade them, and they will not be able to find the same. And I say they will have to go under what it is that I do intend to bring them to the end of themselves. For I say it is me, the living God, who is thoroughly disgusted and thoroughly sickened by a reprobate, a vile, a wicked generation. It is me, the living God, who will bring down the fools who have strutted themselves in proud array. And it is me, the living God, who will devastate, eradicate, and bring to nothing all who are in conceit against me. For I say it is me, the living God, who will give unto them their just reward, their retribution for the evil they have done towards me. I say this day, continue to live, to abide, to walk in the fear of me, and I, the living God, will keep thee even in the time of my wrath revealed. For I say it is me, the living God, who will give tender mercy unto the ones who are walking in the fear of me. That is, the ones who are walking in respect and reverence of my way. I say they will not be destroyed. But I say that the ones who have flaunted themselves, who have flirted with death, who have thought what a clever thing it would be, will see the end of their way end in great sorrow. That is, they will see when I reveal my wrath how really stupid and dull and dumb they are, and though they may cry out for the very death they worship, the same will not be available unto them, until it is me, the living God, who has finished venting myself upon them. I say this day that I, the living God, do not intend that men would end in such a way, but I say that they bring it to themselves. For I say when they serve as magnets for sin, for debauchery, for defilement, I say they will reap the reward of the same. For I say it is me, the living God, who is just and fair, and I say that I return unto men that which they've done before me. And I say if they've pursued the course of evil and wantonness, carelessness, foolery, and vanity, of course they will reap of the same. For I say it is me, the living God, who does reward every man, every woman, according to their doings. And I say, though they may weep and mourn and howl and cry, the time comes, it is too late, and I hear them not at all. For I say, when I sought for them to come unto me, when I called them to my mercy, I say they refuse the same. Now I say they are taken in the throes, the way of their own damnation, their own despair, and I say it is because of their choosing. That is, they have chosen to oppose me, they have chosen to walk afar off from me, and I say they will pay for the same. I say this day there is no reason to go in the way of fools, to be devoured, to be overwhelmed, to be destroyed. I say there is every reason to come forth in truth and light and mercy provided by me. For I say it is me, the living God, who is the way of all truth and righteousness, the way of mercy and the way of hope intended. And it is me, the living God, who will be ever present to lead, to guide, to bring thee forth, for yes, you are mine. I say this day, do not be quick to assume that you can consume of all of the abominations and still be right with me. For I say you are living in a time of great greed, of great lust, of gluttony revealed. I say you are living in a time when men and women and children are thinking they may stuff every possible thing into their beings and not pay for the same, that they may drink and drink and drink endless oceans of that which will make them drunken, and somehow they are all right with me, that they may do the deeds of evil and iniquity, of vileness and corruption, and that I, the living God, will close my eyes to the same. I say they are glutted, they are gluttons for sin, and I say they will reap the reward of their evil done in my sight. I say this day, do not abandon what I, the living God, have taught thee, and the way that I brought thee. I say, do not behave as fools. That is, do not give yourself over to that which will only end in premature death and the damnation of your soul. But I say, be ever thankful that I am the truth, the light, the mercy, and the peace provided for thee. And I say, be ever thankful that I do bring thee forth, that you can indeed be rejoicing that it is me that you serve. For I say it is me, the living God, who is the way of all righteousness, truth, mercy, and strength, and hope provided for thee. And I say, if you will be coming forth in the way that I give thee, ever respecting me, you will be guided always. For I say that the man who is wise will receive his counsel of me and not from demons. And I say that he will not be worshipping at the idol of death, all to his own damnation. I say this day the idol living God will give thee wisdom in every area of your life, if you will but pay heed unto the same. There is no reason to behave as a fool, to gluttonize yourself on everything that comes along only to pay for the same. For I say there is no reason to be beaten and beaten and beaten because you are a fool who refuses to contain himself. I say there is every reason to bow down to worship me, to be subject unto me. For I say it is me, the living God, who will uplift thee, lead and guide thee in the way of my truth, the way of my life, and the way of my mercy. And it is me, the living God, who will cause thee to be coming forth in the truth, the strength, the blessedness of who I am. I say, therefore, be thankful for the truth, the light, the strength that I offer, and the way that is given through me. For I say it is me, the living God, who is the way of all righteousness, the way of all truth, and the way of mercy intended. I say this day, be glad for the privilege to be uplifted, brought forth, guided, directed, and instructed by me. I say, be thankful that you do not need to bow down at the idol of death, that you do not need to serve the demons of the same, but you can indeed be serving me, the one true God who gives thee life and more life as you abide in me. And I say that you can be full of the life, the strength, the truth that I give thee day by day. I say, be thankful, ever thankful that it is me that you serve.
When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. He keeps all his bones, not one of them is broken.